window.
Perfect.
Maybe let's do that.
I'll tell you what I'm going to improve. I'm going to improve the lack of ventilation right here. It's going to be less breathing room.
I mean, what I don't get is why you don't just like quadrant off.
Well, it's the same in here. Like this little neo angle wall.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't it just square? It's so they can open that door there, but why don't you just flip the hinges? No.
I don't know. Just there was no
reason.
Forethought.
There's no reason.
There was no forethought.
You can't expect that to happen out of nowhere.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
this place is lathered in plaster.
Oh yes, it is, and I'll tell you,
it's this is the Kool-Aid guy's nightmare because it would be so hard to bust through.
Bam! It's like you feel like a cop trying to break a door down.
Search warrant! That's what he's screaming before he runs across through your walls.
Yep.
And then when he finally gets through there, he exclaims
in joy. That's it. Yeah. Got to get it done one way or the other.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Macho Man Randy Savage
Macho Man
went up toe to toe with the Kool-Aid mascot. Who does that guy have a name? The
Kool-Aid mascot? I think it's just the Kool-Aid guy.
Kool-Aid guy?
Yeah.
The pitcher?
Yeah. Pitch Marino, I think it's.
He's fell on some hard times lately. Kids don't like Kool-Aid as much anymore.
No,
not since Tang came back.
It's the hardest time he's had since the Cold War because nobody wanted anything red at that point, and they didn't want anything to do with him. He had to change his reputation.
All red.
Nope. Send him to the gulag.
House of Communism. Send him to the gulag. You're gonna eat borscht for the rest of your life.
Right. I hope you're happy with the choice you made with your one drink.
We were, for a very short period of time, we were the Crips in this country. We were all the way against.
That's right.
The Bloods. I think that's even when ironically when Social Security was being incepted too.
Yeah, of course it was.
When during the Red Scare.
Getting it all set.
Yep.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Nobody's allowed to do it but us. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We already had the whites. We just needed the red and the blue. So
that's right.
Plenty of them.
There's plenty of stars these days.
Plenty of stars. Too. That's it. Living it up.
Do you ever see like news reports or like or just references in other media about like so and so a YouTube star or so and so an internet celebrity?
Yes.
And I'm like, you're a celebrity to what? Like a small base of people, like a fan base of people.
Right.
I guess that's fine, but it's funny just they're just loosey goosey throwing the term celebrity around.
Well, that's because it means nothing.
We're all celebrities.
We're celebrities.
We have 3 people who listen who are obliged to because they're our friends and family.
Well, but that's one more than just the 2 of us sitting here. Right. And that means we win.
We're a micro celebrity.
Calm down,
together.
Rabid fans.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
We're like fused together though. Unfortunately,
right. Well,
we've been.
We're
a massive.
It's a package deal.
Flesh.
It's like the multi-pack. You get the variety pack there, and you're like, I really don't want these 3 fucking beers that are in here. These are terrible.
Maybe I'll throw a party and share them with my friends.
That's exactly right. I've got 2 that have been sitting in my fridge for God knows how long.
No longer fresh, but still probably get you drunk.
I mean, you can still. You just want to drink it like 3rd in your lineup. And then it'll be perfect.
I'll tell you
what you need to do.
There is definitely a level of how drunk you are that will allow you to enjoy things that are awful.
Oh yeah, you get to a level. You're like, I don't know why I never gave this another chance. This is great.
This is fine. Yeah. I don't know why you guys have a problem with this. You take 1 sip sober, spit it right back out.
Yeah, it doesn't do it.
Atrocious.
It's like a nightmare in a can. Nightmare in a can, or a bottle if you're fancy. If you've got that extra, if you've got that bottle money, some of us don't have that kind of thing.
These days, I'm working on, but this is just water.
That's right. They're plastic bottles.
So
you'll graduate up to like Perrier or something like that.
I'm hoping so. I got Polar, the all natural seltzer, calorie free.
That's all.
Family made since 1882. Holy fuck, this is a long.
How did the family make it?
Polar bear meat, baby.
It's all just polar bear meat.
They're stealing
the water. That's why they live in the North Pole.
They're up there boiling
the
ice caps. They're just scooping ice caps and boil them up. This is why those commercials, when you see the polar bears that are just like on the small little tiny iceberg,
the terror in their face. I'm about to boil alive here.
It's not global warming. It's this company.
It's a polar bear.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
nuts.
Love those nightmares.
Wow.
All right, let's start this.
Let's start it up because we've got a lot of nightmare stories to tell you.
Here we go. Someday we'll just do this until the fucking thing starts. It's going to happen eventually. One of these days.
Yeah.
Had to start
That's
this
all right.
computer up 3
All
times.
right, it's time for confessions.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us your confessions.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I was driving down a really dark stretch of road.
I might have had 1 or 2 or maybe 4.
1 or 2. Let me just say, I was enjoying the last of the beers that was in the fridge. And this guy came out of nowhere, and I just
been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
I screamed, "Get out of the way!"
Stop what you're doing and listen. Yay! And then wait. What does that do? Did that blow your mind? That just happened.
This corner weighing in at 180 pounds.
Darkness, everybody!
You've got a dirty, whorish mouth.
Bunch of fucking amateurs. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, then. Hail to the king, baby.
Oh, fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.
You tell anyone about this, I'll fucking kill you. I'm kidding. We'll come back by tonight. Okay?
Welcome to another episode of the Kickstart with Matt.
And Matt.
And here we are. We're back. I'm here. I'm in this time zone, and I never want to leave again. Jesus.
Matt does not have what you call wanderlust.
I have the exact opposite of that. I never want to leave my home, ever.
He's got bedroom lust.
That's right. Yes.
The kind
for a
that where
long
you
time.
stay in your bedroom and all kinds of other things can happen behind those closed doors.
Mad about this. Fuck, they're so dirty.
We're back.
By we mean
That's right.
all of our sound clips.
All of our
so
sound
that we don't have
clips.
to do work to be
We
funny.
wanted as minimal input as possible
We
from
wanna
the
lean-
microphone. Most of it from the soundboard is what
That's
we're
right.
looking for. Anywhere
I'm hoping
that's
that
possible.
a lot of this is actually, believe it or not, we had just come on and it's silence. What you
Yeah.
hear is a product of your own brain filling in the gaps.
Listen,
that's the magic of our show.
If you are clearly understanding what we're saying, you need to seek immediate medical attention. I also want to start off by saying I drank 2 cups of coffee today because I was bored. It was really slow at work. That was a terrible decision. I've been shaking like a leaf all day, and I can't formulate a sentence. So this is going to be a really interesting episode. We'll see how
now
everything
you know
goes.
how all the 80s wrestlers felt.
Oh my God, I know. It just gets worse
Well,
and worse. But
any
you have to
80s
keep
person.
it up. You have to keep it. Exactly
Don't
right. It was
stop.
the 80s as a whole decade.
As an entirety, like your parents, they were alive in the 80s, they did cocaine.
But you know it.
They
it's
all
inevitable.
did.
You're
They
doing it again.
all did.
You're doing it again with weird
I
news.
know. I am keyed into one thing and one thing only in this
You're
life.
tuned in.
It is the inconsequential segment once
Yep,
a week
that's right.
of weird news
I
for
know.
3 people that listen to this
right
show.
here, right on the pulse.
On the pulse, baby.
2 fingers, right
I'm
on the
always-
wrist.
I'm like just like how you explain how the zodiac essentially
Yeah.
works and like it like identifies trends in general.
Yeah.
That's just my brain just picks up on those
You're
patterns.
on it. You were born.
I know
that
what's
way, just like
weird.
Lady Gaga.
I am like Lady Gaga. I've got a big nose and I'm a fucking idiot.
There's no explanation. It's just body after body busting out of shit wood and paper.
Oh God.
Oh.
So so I just got back from Hawaii last week, I guess it is now.
Hawaii. Do you have like some luau music to play?
There was
while you
I
tell
don't
your
I don't
stories?
have any luau music, but
Ah.
we can
Yeah! Woo! Come on down. You're the next contestant on Who Took Vacation and How has content for their podcast.
That's what it's all about.
Just like
that
every
content.
white person out here looking for something to say on the internet. This man has just taken an all expenses paid trip to Hawaii, where you have lays and people
right.
wearing hula skirts.
That's right. There were Japanese people everywhere, which I loved.
Oh, sweet.
Um,
How much is that culture ingrained in like Hawaii itself?
It's huge. Like there's, like it's a very since it's so close to Japan, relatively speaking.
Yeah, it's the first place you would, if you hop the Pacific, it's where you'll end up.
Yeah, because it's longer. It takes.
Oh, the Matrix is glitching again.
It takes longer to get.
we can't
This is-
plan any of the humor that happens in this show. Oh yeah.
It takes longer to get from California to Hawaii than it does from the East Coast to the West Coast. So it's
Really?
even further once you get off of
Oh my God,
to go over
really?
the ocean. But coming from Japan, it's closer.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean,
oh, sure.
it's a little, not much,
Interesting.
but still. But yeah, so
How much farther from like California would you say? Like
it's
4
like
more hours or something?
no, not that many, but it's still another like hour and a half, something like that.
Oh,
on
okay.
the flight time.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
gotcha. So,
So-
how long overall? What you were like? It was like a 6-hour.
I have
thing?
no idea.
Oh,
I couldn't even keep track of the time. I didn't know what was going on.
you were in like the Twilight
it
Zone.
was terrible. But yeah, the flight was rough. But I made it through that. Getting there,
Mhm.
getting back, not so much.
Mm.
Notoriously, when you fly out of the islands, it's like the most turbulent ride you can
Oh,
possibly have.
seriously?
The whole fucking time, I'm just sitting there, deep breathing, because I have terrible motion sickness, right?
Oh God.
Here, I thought my anxiety was going to fuck me up. I
Yeah.
was fine. I didn't care. Whatever. But when we took off from the Honolulu airport, we got into the sky, and the pilot was like, "We're going to be hitting a little bit of turbulence here, so we're going to try and chart our course a little bit." Of course, everyone is screaming on the airplane, and the pilot is talking like this. He's like, "Real good." So it's like, I can't hear a fucking thing he's saying. But he just told us that it was going to be a rough ride. He was going to go, and we got up in the air, and sure enough, as soon as we got close to cruising altitude, the whole plane starts shaking, right? And the plane is jam packed full of people. I think there was one seat left.
Maybe that's why you had so much coffee today, because you're just trying to
I gotta
Yeah.
keep this going,
The
otherwise I'm gonna
movement.
fall apart.
Mhm.
And so we get up there. Of course, I ended up towards the back of the plane.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's like a school
not
bus.
by choice. It
But
threw you
no,
back there.
yeah, exactly right. I didn't have anything to do. Yeah, so I'm back there. I find there's these two ladies, this one younger girl, and this other lady's probably maybe 10 years older than me,
Mhm.
and they're sitting on either side, and there's an empty seat between them. Of course, that's the other thing. Why the fuck do people, when they know that it's a full plane, they tell them that it's a full plane, right?
Mhm.
They still leave the seat in between them. Like, you're gonna
It's
have to sit next to a stranger.
Well, that's not that. It's not that. The middle seat is the least desirable seat
Oh.
because you are now between two people,
Yeah.
whereas you only have to sit next to one person if you're on either end.
Christ.
Also, if it's going to be a full flight, I almost always try to pick the aisle
Yeah.
so that I can get the fuck out when
Right.
I need to.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
if
yeah,
I
exactly.
if I got to drop a deuce on the plane, you
Yeah.
better believe I'm not going to be able to make it
Yeah. All you got to do.
across your lap. Okay, because I'm sorry, but you're about to get a load, a brand new accessory
See,
for
the
your
thing
for
is,
your
you
flight.
just got to back yourself up, because then you just got to seal yourself on there and press the flush button. It'll just suck it right
Make it a
The
vacuum.
pressure on that toilet was unbelievable.
Oh
but,
my God.
But yeah, so I'm sitting between these two girls, and we take off. I'm just deep breathing the whole time, because I can feel my stomach is just like, it's like a half empty gallon of milk that somebody's just shaking around violently, right? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, because I didn't eat anything, right? Because we had to leave at like 4:00 in the morning to get
Oh,
to get on the
right,
plane.
that's right.
So I didn't eat anything, and so the flight attendants are coming up and down, like, "Would you like anything to drink?" And I was like, "Just some water, please." Right. So I'm trying to drink this. So I drink this water, and of course, it's water from Hawaii, which is all chemical treated, and it tastes like shit. So I'm like, "This is great. This is great." But it's cold. It's liquid. I got to do something here. And I just start feeling worse and worse and worse. And then they come around again, and they're like, "Would you like another drink?" I'm like, "You were just here like 25 minutes ago." But I guess they're just trying to keep people's mind off of the turbulence that's
Yeah.
about to throw us into the ocean.
They couldn't really go that far because they're
No.
just like balancing like on a surfboard, and
Yeah,
they're just like, okay, I'll just ask them
we'll
again.
Just ask them again. But yeah, so we go. I said, "Yeah, I'll take seltzer water."
Mhm.
So I was like, "I need, maybe some carbonation will help." Right?
Yeah.
Didn't help.
Oh no.
So I'm just deep breathing. I'm like, all right, any minute now. And of course, the younger girl who's sitting on the aisle seat, She's out like a light the whole time, right? She woke up at one point and I was like, thank God I'm going to get up and pee. So I got up, went to the bathroom. I was like, am I going to lose it here? I'm just staring down at this whole thing. And like, I wonder if I could fit through there, just suck myself out of the ocean. And so that's not getting any better. So then I go back, sit down in the seat. We're coming in. We flew in and out of Vegas on the mainland. So there's like, all right, there's going to be some more turbulence going into Vegas. We got some heavy winds coming through. And of course the lady on the window seat, she's playing some fucking Farmville thing on her tablet, right?
Is that even still operational?
Apparently,
it gets
worse.
Running?
It gets worse, right? So
it's exclusively for middle-aged old
right,
like
and
women.
She's got
now.
it saved. She's got it saved right there. So she's got all of the windows shut so she can see her tablet. If I could look out the window, I wouldn't have gotten sick as bad. So I'm looking.
But see, also another point and why you want the window seat, so you have control over that.
Yeah, because I figured that out from coming from Vegas. I
I
made sure, got it right in there. I knocked somebody out and threw them in the front. Yeah, they weren't looking.
It's fine. You'll get off the plane sooner.
Yeah, you're on the flight still. Don't worry about it. So
you're not like the German guy from Indiana Jones. I'm not gonna throw you into the propeller.
Yeah, exactly right.
Chop your head off.
Care about your ticket. So we're flying, coming down into Vegas. Oh yeah. No, so we're flying over there. I'm trying to keep from throwing up here, and I just keep staring at this. I put the Office on my tablet thing, like, or I'll distract myself. I'm doing everything I can think of. I'm closing my eyes and imagining I'm on a fucking school bus, just like so. It's like, okay, I'm just driving down the road here. That's why it's bouncing around. Anything I can think of, just to keep. So I kept it all together. Then this lady, she's playing, she puts her tablet down. I'm like, oh, thank Jesus. Maybe she's going to look out the window or something.
Yeah.
She reaches into her bag. She pulls out this little container of food. It's got apples, peanut butter, and hard-boiled eggs in it. And she starts crunching into these fuckers. And I'm like, this is great. I'm going to die. I'm going to throw up all over her food. So it's just like
hard-boiled eggs on a plane. That's like ripping the worst ass you could possibly fart. Like,
oh my God,
in your face.
I couldn't.
There should be things that are banned on a plane.
I would think
Tuna,
so.
Hard-boiled egg,
Anything that's
cooked
fragrant
broccoli
like that. Yeah, no, you can't
please,
have any of that.
Just none of that.
None of it. So
you should have barfed all over her food and been like, "I'm so sorry
that you brought those fucking hard-boiled eggs on the plane."
And aren't you sorry now too?
That's right. That's right.
I just seasoned them for you.
You
all right?
did this to yourself. Okay.
I had a real spicy breakfast. You'll like it. Trust me. Just keep chowing down on it.
So we're coming in, he's telling us that we're coming down, about to touchdown. Right.
We're about to crash.
About to crash. I'm like, thank God. At least I can throw up outside as I'm ejected through the roof.
At least I won't get all my clothes.
Yeah, that's right. So he's telling us we're coming into Vegas. We're coming in for touchdown. As soon as we hit the ground, we start to slow down, and the girl sitting next to me has woken up by this point. Of course, I put her tray table up earlier because I was thinking I was going to have to lunge over her to get to the bathroom, right? And so she wakes up. She's like, "Oh, did you put my tray table up for me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." She's like, "I'm sorry, I was out." And I was like, "Yeah, I know, it's okay." And I just went back to staring at the ceiling, going. So the rest of the time she's like side-eyeing me like is he gonna die? And so we're coming in and we hit the ground, we start to slow down, and you know what happens once you touch down. See, I can't form sentences. Once you touch down, then they throw on those reverse thrusters, right?
Yeah.
So it takes everything that's inside of your body that moves and throws it to the front of your body. That was it. I grabbed the thing. I was like, no!
Oh my God. Oh my God, really?
4 times. And she's like, I thought you were going to make it. I was like, so did I.
You suffered through this whole flight.
The whole fucking thing. And that was the longest part of the flight, going from Hawaii to Vegas. So that was a whole ordeal. And then we go from when we leave Vegas to fly back to BWI, smooth as a baby the whole time.
Well,
Nothing.
yeah, I mean, from
I
there,
slept.
that's actually, I think you're on the jet stream, so you get out faster,
Right. Yeah.
and it is generally pretty smooth
Oh
out
my
that
God.
way.
It was.
Oh my god,
Yeah. It was a nightmare. So we had all that.
that is hilarious. I wish we could get that girl who was asleep, her testimony for the show. Just
all she would
to hear.
remember is me asking if I could sit next to her, and then her waking up and apologizing about the tray table, and then me throwing up into it.
Oh,
She's
I'm
like,
sorry, thank you.
she's like, oh, my sister gets it too. Like my sister doesn't. So
Oh
so
my
that was
God.
that. So we so there are homeless people everywhere in Hawaii.
oh wow. I feel
Everywhere.
like the further west, because when we went to San Diego, same deal.
Yeah.
Just homeless people all over the place.
I mean, but my question is, how did they get there? Right?
Well,
It's not like they got on a bus or something. Like they fly there and they drop them off.
they went there with the hope of
Yeah.
having homes,
Right.
and there weren't
There
enough
was-
homes.
there was
There's just
not.
not enough homes
No, it
on the
didn't work
west,
out.
baby.
But they're and it's so weird to see these people who are obviously super rich, right? Vacationing and shit. And then
Yeah.
these other people who are not, you know.
Yeah, they're
you know.
just living, they're bumming around the
was,
island.
It was fucking crazy. But while we were there, we were lucky enough to witness a cultural phenomena called Spam Jam. Spam is a
Spam
staple
Jam.
in Hawaii. They love Spam.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess just because it's canned meat and it, can't.
Yeah,
they
it doesn't
can
go bad. It's
ship
great for
it.
the
They can
homeless
ship
people.
it easier. Yeah, exactly. So Spam Jam's going on. There's people everywhere in Spam costumes, and
What?
they've got 3 flatbed trucks with bands on them. I guess it's easier than setting up a stage or whatever.
Okay.
Fucking awesome. They were great. The bands were hilarious. They were hilarious. 2 of them were hilarious. They were like doing all these jokes in between all their things. And they went. They went. There was a Hawaii like tribute thing that had people coming up and doing traditional dance and all that kind of stuff while the guys were off playing on the side there. And the one, I guess he was a radio DJ or a newscaster guy or whatever. He got up there and he's like, "All right, everybody, just want to let you know that whatever the local news station is, they're here shooting around. So if you told somebody that you were at a business meeting and you're actually here with your girlfriend, make sure you look out for the cameras because they are shooting the crowd." So just looking out for you. Just looking out for you. But it was just this really weird cultural collision between like very proper Japanese people, like very restrained and everything.
They're wearing kimonos and shit.
There were a couple of them that were like
Just
real
assume.
deal. It was weird. It
One
was-
guy's committing seppuku.
Yeah, it
like
was great.
just on, at the table next to you while you're eating dinner
Right. It was great.
because he was
I loved
ashamed
it.
of how he ate with a fork.
I'm glad you said that because I have a story there. So nobody killed themselves, but almost. So we went around Spam Jam. It was just fucking great. There's this place called Tiki's that we went a couple times, and they had this fucking smoked marlin dip that was out of this world.
Smoked marlin.
Smoked marlin
Oh,
dip.
It dip?
Dip. It's
Huh.
got that smoky flavor, and it wasn't very fishy or anything like that. But it just had this really good flavor to it. So that alone was fantastic. Trying to think, there was a couple other places around. There was a little Japanese corner stand that opened every day. I mean, it was like the size of a closet. But you could go in there and get masubi with the little rice balls,
Oh, yeah.
And that was fantastic. We went there almost every day just to grab some as we were going wherever we were going.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was pretty cool. So at one point we were wandering around. There's this huge open air mall,
Mhm.
right? There's trees growing in the middle of it and shit.
I love shit like that.
It was amazing. Then
Like,
they
further
had
west you go.
huge, like all these stores in there and everything. And they had 2 layers to the food court. And then right across the street from where we were, that was a nice thing too, where our location, we had our own parking space. It's like fucking Jim Thorpe there. You can't park anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want to find a spot, you got to go like out of town and like get a cab to come
Oh,
in or some
wow.
shit like that. So we had our own spot. That was really nice. And we could walk to all this stuff, including the beach.
Oh,
'Cause
nice.
We were. It was basically all within a block,
Oh, shit.
radius. So it was
That's awesome.
fantastic. And there was a McDonald's on our block. So in the middle of the night, you wanted, and they had spam breakfast at McDonald's.
What the?
It was
Why are
those
they
regional
so
things.
obsessed with spam?
It's crazy. They love it. They love it.
Holy
so,
shit!
So anyhow, so we were at the mall the one day, and we were walking around trying to figure out where we were going to eat dinner, and we ended up going to this hibachi place and sitting down. And there was these two older people who were a couple, and then this even older guy, which ended up being the wife's father, right? And he lives here. So they asked us, where we were visiting from or whatever. They were keeping to themselves, but then eventually, we ended up striking up a little conversation.
Yeah, because you're like at the communal hibachi bar,
right? And so it was just us though at that one. That all the other ones were full of people. This guy, God damn it, I can't think what his name was. I wish I could remember what his name was. He looked like he was straight out of like a cartoon. Okay, he was this white guy, this heavyweight white guy, and his soul was gone. He did not want to be there. He didn't want to be on Earth anymore. Was it like Evan or something? I don't remember what the hell it was, but he was probably maybe 30, maybe 31.
To him, his soul is the morning's breakfast.
Yes.
And the earth is hard-boiled eggs. He just wants to be ejected from this plane of existence.
He was just dead the whole time, but he kept doing the spiel. Like he's making like little pun jokes and stuff. And the best
he's just animated by some kind of like remnants of a program.
He's animated by necessity, right? It's like I'm compelled to do this. I don't want to. But the best part was he was going around asking us questions, like trying to connect, but they weren't having any of it, and we weren't having any of it. And so eventually he just stopped talking to us. It was my favorite moment. I even wrote on the like, there was a little review card, and I wrote that he was my hero. It was so good. He was completely dead inside, and I loved it so much. I didn't say a word to him the whole time. I just kept staring at him. But he had these huge glasses. He was just looking down. He was just profusely sweating down the road. It was perfect. It was so good. That was one of my highlights of the whole trip.
Oh man!
And so
he probably died of a heart attack that night.
He died of something that night, but I don't know. It was natural causes. But it was so good. I just loved it so much. And so finally, when he left, I was like, thank you so much. And I like clapped for him, and he was like, all right, yeah. And then as he walked away, I saw like this. He went into this deep internal monologue, and he couldn't figure out whether I was mocking him or not.
Okay, so let me clarify. This guy, this is just a patron, or he's hibachi
he's
chef?
The chef.
Okay, so he's just this overweight white guy,
yeah,
doing hibachi.
Yeah. Yep.
Is
Everybody
so
else in the
weird.
whole restaurant is Asian.
Oh my god!
Of some persuasion. All the waitress staff, all the bartenders, all the rest of the chefs.
What if he's deep undercover?
I don't know what's going on. That's why it was so great. There's not only does he hate his job, but he's completely out of place with everybody else there. It was fantastic. I just absolutely love this guy. So that was great. But anyhow, while we were sitting there, they were asking us what we were getting into and everything. We said, we're going to go to Spam Jam and all that stuff, because this was before that happened. And we said they were asking us if we were going to do any hikes around stuff, because there's a lot of trails and all that. And we were talking about hiking up this one mountain. Of course, I can't remember what the fuck it was called. But they were like, if you get up to this point, there's a sign about you can potentially see whales, because you go up the mountain and it gives you a pretty good outlook over the ocean.
And there's just a whole bunch of Japanese people up there with spears.
Just waiting with spear guns. Oh. That's it. Like they're Sensei Ahab. So he said, you'll see that sign, and if you go off to the side of that sign, you can actually climb down the side of the mountain, and there's tide pools down there that you can get in, and it's full of tropical fish and all that. It's like, but it's not an easy climb, right? And so we're like,
does not.
Right?
I feel like that's not something you should advise anyone to do, because it's behind a sign, and these tide pools are probably a place where people die.
They are, and they're way far down too,
Oh
because we're at some high
fucking
elevation,
God.
right?
And this is the hibachi chef guy who wants to die telling you
Yeah.
about this?
No, he wasn't. It was
Oh.
the girl's father who lives there, the old man.
Okay,
right?
okay.
And he said, "I did it. So if
you
this,
pussy.
if this all, yeah,
I
right.
did it, you fucking
Yeah, start
bitch.
smacking us." And so he's like, you just go around there, and it's definitely a little, it's a not an easy climb, but you get down to the bottom and you can sort of dip. And he's like, and then the best part is if you go around the side of the base of this mountain, you can climb up to where there's a lighthouse. And you can get up this lighthouse. It's not in operation anymore, but you can go to the top of the lighthouse and you can see this.
What is
even
this,
further
Grand Theft
expand.
Auto?
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, it's like a fucking video game. And so,
What kind of exploration?
yeah, it's so,
Dude, if it is not a marked and flat ass trail
Yeah.
for me to walk,
right.
I am not going there.
Well, I was up for the
there
challenge.
Are other human beings have died in
Yeah.
these places. I don't care to repeat their journey.
It would have saved.
so
It would have saved me from the turbulence.
So-
but alas, we survived.
so wait, you did this?
So we went up. We got to this sign about whales. We ran around the side of it, started climbing down, and we got down to what seemed to be the flattest part.
Mhm.
But we did not see any tide pools.
Okay.
So we're like, well, maybe it's
What a jip.
yeah, right, high tide or something like that. So
You fucking liar.
fucking old man, I'm gonna find him and kick his ass. He slapped me in the face and made me come down here.
He's really just this murderous, like mischievous guy who wants to see.
He lives in the
tourists.
lighthouse. He's sitting up there with binoculars like these
I
stupid
got another one.
fucks.
Got another one. I was at hibachi today. I'm on my third lunch hour. Just getting victims, racking them up.
So we climbed down there. We start looking around. We're like, there's no tide pools. So we climbed back up this treacherous mountain.
You went back up?
Yeah, we climbed
You didn't
back
keep
up.
going?
No, because we couldn't get down any further, but we weren't at sea levels or water
Oh,
levels. So we
okay.
knew this was not right. So we climbed back up
You
and
did a lot of dangerous work for nothing.
yeah. So we get back up to the
Jesus.
trail, and of course we've come back up a different spot, so we have to like fight through these bushes
Oh my
to get back to
my
the actual trail. So we get to the trail, we go up a little bit further, and there's another sign about whales, but the whole sign is about whales, and we're like, okay, this has to be it.
Oh my God, so you go do it
we
again?
go around it. We look down. Sure enough, at the bottom of this huge steep drop off are tide pools.
Oh
So
my
like
God.
there it is, and there's people down there in them. Okay,
Okay.
so we're like, all right, let's check it out. So we
Oh my God.
so we're going around, hopping down these little things, trying to be as goat-like as possible, walking sideways to get down. Finally, we make it all the way down to the bottom of this thing, right?
Yeah.
And all these people are in flip-flops, and in like bathing suits. Speaking of which, I already told you about this, but I'll share it with the listeners. It's minimum coverage bikini bottoms everywhere, and it's quite a sight to behold. It's almost as beautiful as the scenery. But anyhow, so there's a few of them down there in the tide pool, and but sure enough, the tide pools are full of these tropical fish. It was fucking crazy. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we hear this. I was like, that sounds like a fucking dragon. It's a fucking lava tube that goes all the way down underneath of the water. And as the waves come in, it pushes the air through there and shoots it at the top. Right?
Oh, wow.
So people are going over and taking pictures and then screaming because their phones are getting covered in water, because of course that's what's going on. It's under the water. So they go and they're all out there swimming, and the tide starts to come in.
Oh,
Right.
God.
So these huge waves are crashing up on these rocks, and they're smashing like right next to these people, and all the rock footing is very uneven.
Oh, my God.
So I
This
just wait
is-
for somebody to
you're-
get hit and
you're about
drug
to-
out to sea.
You're about to witness it. Like, this is why you should never take the advice
This
of
is a
people. who-
Baywatch episode.
This
This
is, there's like, there's so many instances of people dying like that.
yeah.
Just dumb tourists.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys walked down there. I cannot fucking believe you guys
It was
walked
great.
down there.
It was great. And it's luckily, once you get to the bottom of the cliff, there's a long stretch of these tide pools and rocks and stuff. So
Mhm.
there's a sweet spot right in the middle, which is where I stayed the whole time.
Yeah.
That is far enough away that if rocks fall down, because there's signs about that everywhere, they're
Oh,
falling
my
rocks,
God.
because everything's loose. It's all this basalt,
All just the-
volcanic rock.
It's a big Jenga tower.
Yeah, exactly right. So you're far enough away that if one falls down, it's not going to hit you in the head, but you're not close enough to the ocean that the waves are going to sweep you out. So that was a real good spot. And some, I mean, like almost little swimming pool sized, things of tide pools and stuff down there with sea urchins in them too. Another reason why I didn't get in the water.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow, so we went through. We're down there for a little bit, climbed back up, got
Was the
back on the
climb
trail.
back up, was that like atrocious?
The climb back up was amazing. It was even easier. It was so much easier than getting
Oh.
down because
Oh really?
you can lean forward and use your hands to get up instead of like leaning
Oh,
back and
I
trying
gotcha.
to do it sideways.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, you didn't just do the whole like turn around and kind of scale down
No,
like with the hands.
no, because you got to keep an eye on where you're putting your feet.
You
in
just look
front.
down, look
Well,
down
yeah,
over your
but
shoulder.
It's not that steep, but it's
okay.
it's
I
treacherous.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
So, but somebody had gone along at some point and spray painted little arrows to show you like which is the safest ways to get up.
Oh,
But most of those arrows had worn off.
Oh.
And there were also somebody else that went through and spray painted arrows to go somewhere else.
oh
And so
God.
you had to make sure that you were following the right arrows if you got lost on the way. But it was pretty, I mean, there's one spot where you can't get up because it's so steep,
Mhm.
but you can just navigate your way around it. So we got our way back up. But we didn't end up going around the side because the tide was in and there was no way we could climb around the side to where the lighthouse was. So we didn't end up
Oh, okay.
seeing that. But yeah, so that was an interesting adventure. We also went down this trail to see this waterfall back in like on the jungle side of the island.
Mhm.
And while we were in there were fucking mosquitoes everywhere, right? And if I had thought twice about it, I kept looking at, they had a little bottle of bug spray in the room, and I was like, this fucking needs, I mean, we're on the beach.
I'm in
There's-
Hawaii.
right, yeah, come on,
it's a paradise.
this is heaven here. There's no bugs. And so, yeah, it was. And so the whole time I'm killing these mosquitoes. I still have mosquito bites all over me right
I'm
now.
sure, yeah.
So I'm smacking these mosquitoes all over because they're, and the whole time I'm thinking like, West Nile. All right, now I got
Oh,
malaria.
AIDS.
And then, so that when we get back out of that, so anyhow, we'll do this. So we get through the whole thing. It rains there constantly because it's like a jungle, right? And everything is covered in like a half inch of slime. So you have to like really watch where you're stepping because your feet can go out from under you and you can really get fucked up. So but we finally get over to the waterfall. There are people swimming in the spot there at the bottom of the waterfall,
Mhm.
which you're not supposed to do because there are signs all over the place that say that there are dangerous bacteria, and they primarily enter the body through the anus and urethra,
Mm.
right? Doesn't matter. It's party time. They're
Yeah.
drinking their White Claws down in there, waiting around. And I was
Oh,
like, this is it.
God.
This is natural selection. It's okay. So we turn around. We go all the way back. Get out the other side. It was fucking gorgeous in there too, by the way. These giant fucking trees, huge trees, and all these flowers and shit everywhere. But we get back up. There's a sign that faces the other way that says, please watch out for mosquitoes because they can carry a bloodborne disease. And then there's this whole little subtext thing down the bottom that says that the mosquitoes themselves aren't the problem, but because so many people come to the island, the mosquitoes get the blood from somebody who could potentially be carrying the disease, and then they go and bite somebody else and transmit it, right?
Are you sure that you went to Hawaii and that you didn't just play Jumanji?
That's all I
Get
could think the
sucked
whole
into the
time.
jungle?
Everywhere we were going, I was like, I just feel like we're in fucking Jumanji.
What
But-
year is it?
Yeah, right. Thank God, no more banana leaves. I kept thinking that every time we go under a banana tree. But yeah, so those were the two big hikes that we went on. But it was really, really cool. The climbing up and down that mountain was invigorating. It was wonderful.
That sounds treacherous and
a little bit.
dangerous.
Yeah. Up was easy though.
And maybe not.
That's
Getting
all
out
that
of
matters.
it wasn't so
we got
bad.
out. It was fine. Yeah.
And I mean, you didn't get close enough to like the stuff that was going to like potentially kill you. In
Yeah.
fact, when you turned your back, somebody might have got swept out into the tide. Some of the
I completely believe
human
they did.
beings You ever wonder this? You ever wonder? Yeah. There's my seltzer going. You ever wonder this thought here? How many people have you laid eyes on that are already dead?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we've
Most.
seen a lot of people out
Most.
just in life.
I was friends with a lot of old people when I was young. Most of
Mhm.
them are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the count. Just give me a statistic.
Well, I saw like 7 of them, so that's.
I watched the light go
I
out of
was
at least
staring deep
7
into their
eyes.
eyes. Yeah, yeah. But so we went a couple other places. Went to the Bishop Museum, which is basically all they keep track of all the bishops. That's it, where they
They got
Oh, like-
bishop
like
chess
a
pieces,
chess piece, or whatever you need.
those fancy hats.
Got them in the gift shop. But no, it's basically they like chronicle the whole history of Hawaii and the culture before people came
Before
in
they
and all that.
wiped them
Yeah,
out and-
yeah, basically
and
yeah.
appropriated them.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah, made them all learn English and everything. But so we did that. We went to a Buddhist temple. So when you enter the grounds of this place, it's it's not a non-denominational, but it's like a all-inclusive cemetery on the outside.
Okay.
And everything's sectioned off. So there's like a bunch of Japanese people specifically buried over on here. There's people who are Jewish buried over here. Like they have everything. And on the trees,
It's like a prison cafeteria.
it's very segregated. Yeah. So they you as you're driving towards the temple, which is sort of in the middle of everything. On the trees along the way, there are little advertisements about how you can own a piece of paradise, but hurry because the space is running out.
What
Right?
was it, a timeshare?
No, it was for the fucking cemetery.
that's what I
It was great. I was just like, that's a really interesting way to
Hurry
market
up,
things.
you're gonna
Hurry
die,
up, you're going to die soon, and you're going to
And-
end up in the water.
and you won't.
You're
we'll
going to
just
be in the
dump you.
tide pool. We're
We'll
just
just
going to take
dump
you
you
right
there.
off the lighthouse.
We'll just give you a strong push off the side of the
We'll
cliff.
just give you that
Nate
guy.
will take care of the rest.
We'll just give you that guy at the hibachi place.
He loves watching
he,
people die.
He loves
His
dead bodies.
statistic number
It's
is
good.
real high. His number of people he's seen die is very, very high.
It's just,
We're allowed to show him nude because they ain't got no soul.
Maybe that's his goal. He goes out with a fishing vessel
Yeah.
and like a harpoon gun.
oh, he's just
and
waiting.
he catches the dead bodies. He
Yep.
strips them naked and he's
Yep.
got them all strewn about the lighthouse. They're all
he's
just
got I know what you did last summer, like sail fisherman
Mhm.
Joe hat on.
Yep. He's got the
Oh
hook,
man,
the,
but he's
like-
still got his hibachi uniform on.
yeah, that's right. Because he's got to go to work. You
Yeah,
know?
he's
gotta
not
make a living.
Yeah, he's
That
not going to
doesn't pay
change.
anything.
He's not going to change. He already sweated in this.
Yeah, most of the it's hard to get the money. Most of the tourists probably don't carry cash anymore.
No. It's all plastic these days. In fact, there were a bunch of places that didn't even take cash.
Really?
Yeah, it was interesting.
We
But
don't
yeah,
like that shit here.
they did
Keep
not.
your paper money to yourself.
They did. Yeah. So
You
we
dirty
got
son
it.
of a bitch.
We got out there. We finally got up to the temple. We went in across this bridge. It
Do
was
they have like a
fucking
big old?
gorgeous.
Do they have big old fat Buddha statues?
No,
in the,
they have Siddhartha in there, so it's the
Oh.
thin Buddha there. But it was
Any
absolutely,
Buddha.
it was amazing. It was an amazing experience going there. The other cool thing we did, we went to.
well, that's got to be the closest thing you've had to like visiting Japan.
It absolutely
in a
was.
certain way.
It absolutely was. Yeah, all being around all those Japanese people, being in that Buddhist temple that was built by Japanese people, right? And like the traditional Japanese architecture. It was fantastic. I felt like I was there without having to fly the rest of the way. In fact, for all intents and purposes, I was. Little slice of Japan floated off, and that's where we were. So we went there. That was pretty cool. Then we also went and visited the grave of Joseph Campbell, who was buried there. He's after he retired. The guy did
that guy?
he was a famous mythologist. He wrote Hero with a Thousand Faces, which is what George Lucas sort of based Star Wars on and all that kind of stuff.
Joseph Campbell.
Yeah.
Was he like a science fiction writer?
He was not a science fiction writer. No, he was like he basically studied world mythologies and he went
Okay.
around and spoke. If
Interesting.
we hadn't gone to Catholic school, we would have watched him in school.
Oh, interesting.
He
Okay.
was a former Catholic,
Hmm.
and he basically after he left, he went off and studied all these other things, and then he wrote a lot of comparative religion and mythology
Oh, I
works and
see.
stuff like that.
Yeah, hence why you would be such a fan.
Yeah, the
'cause basically,
power of myth. That's another one of his staples. But anyhow, so that was really, really cool to get. And it was just a little fucking headstone.
those plots are going quick, Matt.
They're
all
tight.
right?
This is a whole different
He barely,
graveyard. But still,
he barely made it in
Yeah.
there. Are you kidding?
But the cool thing was across the street was a continuation of this graveyard. And over there, it was just Japanese. So we were driving around because they have really beautiful gardens and stuff curated over there. And as we were driving past them, I looked over and there were people from Miyamoto Musashi's family line that were there, buried there too.
Oh.
So, because I was thinking, like, I wonder if there are any famous Japanese people over here. And so I was looking around.
Was there any swords like
They
stuck in the ground?
were everywhere. That's the only way I knew. It was like a sword tree. But yeah, it was really cool just to see some of that stuff in person. But yeah, aside from that, I was just wandering around and doing different things on the beach. But there was, of course, surfers out there every day, so that was always fun getting to watch that. Ended up going out in the water the one time, but there was this place in an alleyway. It was called Banan, okay? And they made this soft serve ice cream that was made out of bananas. No ice cream. It's just bananas. And it was the most delicious fucking thing I have ever eaten in my entire life. And I don't like cold things.
That's a bold claim.
It was amazing. I wish that I could eat it every day. And once we found it, we did while we were there. We would
you
just
can find out how it's made.
we would
and
go,
just
well,
make
that
it
we're
yourself.
gonna start experimenting.
Yeah.
We saw a video on their Instagram of them making it, and they have these huge fucking like bowls of bananas that they're like peeling, and then they throw them into this thing, and we can't quite tell whether it's honey that they pour in there or maple syrup, but something to add a little bit of sweetness to it. And bananas are sweet already, but because they're not using them real ripe, that's why they add it.
Something high in sugar to kind of bind it all.
Man, but yeah, so we went through, and we would get that every day, and then go watch the sunset over there with the surfers all out there. But there were there were catamarans that would come in at night and drop off these people who were obviously like blitzed out of their mind, which was hilarious watching them trying to get off this boat, because there were these guys. Well, it was a girl on the one, but they were like the people helping, hold the boat and stuff while people were getting off, or whatever. But they would get on it, and there's this bar that holds the frame of the ship together, or the boat, and so you have to come down the stairs and duck under it to get off, right? And so they're holding on to that bar as the waves come in, so that they can be like, not yet, not yet, not yet. Well, some of the people were, I'm an American and I'm not going to let anybody tell me what to do. And so this one guy came down the stairs as a wave came in. It knocked him over, flung him forward. He hit his head against that bar, went on the ground. The wave caught him and drug him back under the catamaran.
Oh my God! Dude.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Did you witness a death right there?
Yeah, he was alive. He was alive, but he
man.
was. They had the bar wrapped in foam and everything, because I'm sure it's happened before. But it was hilarious. And then everybody else went in a single file line.
They all
after
just
that.
were like,
They're
we'll
like-
listen to you.
They're like, okay, it's like arriving at the concentration camp. They kill one of the people, just establish dominance. Yeah, so it was crazy. But yeah, it was the whole thing. The trip there was great. The flight was very long, and I don't know if it justifies, but being there, I was glad we were there for a little while rather than just being there for like a week or something like that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That made it worth it. But yeah, it was great. It was really cool. Lots of really good food, and like I say, everything was really close. There's the convenience stores down there called ABC. Okay, ABC stores.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
There's one on the corner, and then there's the opening to a store. Next to that is a blocked off window that says "Coming soon, ABC store." So it's like fucking Starbucks back in the early 2000s, where they're like putting them across from each other. They're everywhere down there, and they all have the same thing. So if you can't find what you're looking for, if they're out of it, you just go like 4 or 5 steps up, and there's another one there, which was great.
Jesus.
But there was this one store that we walked past, and they had this roped off section of the sidewalk. And we're like, what the fuck? They have this roped off thing in the middle of the sidewalk here. And there's all these young teenage guys standing in line there. We walk past all of them. We look in, Guess what's hanging all over the walls in very minimal posts? Fancy fucking button-up shirts. It was goddamn Dan Flashes. It was we lost our minds laughing, and they were going crazy in there. They were like jumping on each other and shit. It was hilarious. It was real.
What the fuck?
And there's a security guard at the door, huge guy with his hands like in the sides, and he was like mean mugging everybody that walked by. I wanted to go over and take a video. I was afraid he was going to jump me or something.
Oh my
They were killing each other to get these damn shirts. It was hilarious. They weren't even Hawaiian shirts.
That's the best thing ever.
they were just like these like, it's not even real like wool or any natural fiber. It's just crazy designs all over. It was hilarious. Yeah, but yeah, so that was a nice little touch there.
That is the best thing ever. I can't believe that that's real.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either
my
because we walked past it the first time at nighttime and they were closed and we saw the rope thing there and we were trying to peek in the window to see why they were like, what is this, like a nightclub or something like that? Because there is a couple breweries around and we thought maybe it was the entrance to one.
Yeah.
Nope. We walked past the one day and there were all the people in the line and it was Dan Flashes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, there was always like a line. Okay, you're in Hawaii with all these restaurants that are like Hawaiian restaurants. There's even a McDonald's on the corner if you want a little taste of home. There is a line that wraps around twice. It like snakes through most of the sidewalk in front of a fucking cheesecake factory. And of course, everybody standing there are complaining about how long it's going to take them to get a seat at the Cheesecake Factory. Meanwhile, it's like, why don't you just fucking eat somewhere else? There's 1,000 other choices.
There are cheesecake factories all over the motherfucking country.
Exactly right.
Just go to any one of them. That's the least original thing you could possibly go to.
Terrible.
I mean, go anywhere that's authentic.
Right. Yeah, you have so many opportunities. Even if you don't want authentic Hawaiian food, there's still 1,000 choices.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Jesus
there's Burger King,
Christ.
there's a Wendy's, everything is still there, and they're all grouped together for the most part. But no,
I will never understand. I understand that Cheesecake Factory has a gigantic menu.
Cheesecake Man does have a
Cheesecake Man does have a real big dick, and it is astounding when he flops it on your table, and it literally makes the legs of the table shake.
Right. You know why?
You know that everybody's legs are shaking at that moment,
yeah,
even your chair.
Like, I don't know what this guy's got to say, but we better listen.
I've got something to say. Cheesecake Man.
Yeah, Cheesecake Man.
Step aside.
That's right. Cheesecake Man's coming through. But yeah. So the nice thing, too, is all the cops there, they have 2 blue lights on the outside of their light bar that they have to keep on all the time.
Oh, nice.
So no hiding.
See, that's the difference.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, literally supposed to be
legally,
like that.
yes.
You're not supposed to be hiding your cop cars when you're on patrol.
But yeah, it's there, and there's weed everywhere. Like you can.
Is it all legal there?
No, it's. I mean, they've got a medical program, but it's not recreational.
Is it decriminalized?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I guess in Hawaii, just like a lot of other places,
I don't think that they would even bother.
They're kind of just like whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, because like especially at nighttime, like if you walk down, and of course the streets are crowded, all these people walking around going places.
Yeah,
but. There's people all over the place. They're like, you know what, man, thanks for helping me out earlier. And they're just like throwing nugs at each other. It's just like, what is going on? It's like, it's weird.
It's like a weird, like,
but it's
like
West Coast, so
it's a weird hippie John Wick world happening where they got their own currency system.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so that's all in all, it was definitely an adventure. Which is definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But it was good. It was good. It was worth the trip.
Is it a one and done for you, or would you end up going back?
I would go back, but I would need some time to recover and some Dramamine for the trip.
Yes. Either that or a bigger barf bag.
That's right. I almost reached over to that lady with the hard boiled eggs and took hers.
Grab her backpack and yak right at it.
But yeah, it was an adventure. So that's what's been going on. The other thing we got to bring up is Jerry Springer's dead. And
Jerry Springer died. I can't remember.
I'm devastated.
I can't remember what happened in the time frame in which you weren't here.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to remember that too today as I was chugging my second cup of coffee.
It doesn't matter. I knew we were going to have
Yeah.
all this content for
Yeah.
at least this section.
Oh my God.
But Jerry Springer died, which is weird. I don't think he's really been in the public eye for a while.
He had cancer. That's
right?
that's what he
Okay.
died from. Yeah, they
Mm.
they revealed that a couple days.
I saw. I
after.
keep seeing this headline that they found out what really killed Ray Liotta, but I don't think it was anything like suspicious or
No.
foul play. I think they just were like, yeah, his heart exploded or whatever. the fuck.
A meteorite crashed
through his heart. It was little, but it just so happened it was a fluke. He would have had a long natural life. That Chantix was really getting him.
It really
kept
did
him-
work. It was-
That basically made him turn the clock back about 20 years.
you have no
for
idea.
him.
The bad news was he narrowly escaped the meteor shower 20 years ago. Took him out, caught up with it. It was like Final Destination.
It kept on circulating around the planet. It started orbiting, and
That's
it
it.
eventually
He was just circling the
it's like
drain,
a homing missile.
just waiting for him. He's gonna slip up one of these days, and then we'll get him. Let's get some weird news.
All right, let's go. Let's be weird. We already are weird.
We already are weird. We
We're
made it.
always
We got all
weird.
kinds of great comments coming through here.
Oh yeah, let's hear
my
them.
God.
What do we
Juan's
got?
Juan's asking me if I saw any active volcanoes. No, I did not, Juan. At least it wasn't Tuna, Allison. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Ugh.
Let's see here. Juan says, Matt, where's your tan? You should be darker than me.
That is funny because you really aren't like tan at all.
No. In fact, I got sunburned only on this arm, and that was the day after we were on the beach all day, and that was just because I had my arm out the window of the car.
Was it not really that bad as far as the sun, the
Oh, no, it
sun
was-
rays and everything?
No,
or-
it was brutal.
Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah, but I just am
Wow, that's weird.
mindful of it. Like
Oh.
I just
Oh.
would go into the shade or whatever, because for the most
That's
part we
smart.
weren't exposed all the
Honestly,
time.
I'll tell you, man, that sun exposure when you're in a place that has a lot more,
Yeah.
concentrated sun,
Mm-hmm.
it really wears you out. It can kind of ruin your day.
Oh,
in
hell
a lot
yeah.
of ways. I've definitely been like overexposed to the sun in like Florida and be like, oh, I'm like wiped.
Oh, it destroys you. And then, and then you got to like watch everything that you do.
Oh my
It's like I
God.
was after the day after I got sunburned on this, I was, or no, actually it was when we were going to the airport because it was right before we left.
Mm.
I had my backpack on with all my computers and stuff because I carry them, as carry on rather than checking them so the bags don't get destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was trying to.
Oh, really?
I was trying to
really?
get-
They're not gentle with them.
I was watching those fuckers at the window. And he was like, "Ha!"
Dude, they are horrible with
It's
your
crazy.
bags.
And of course,
Oh.
on the side of the card, it's like, we treat your bags like they're our bags. I was like, you mean like your wife? Because you're beating the shit out of these things. God damn it. Yeah, it was fucking
It's
crazy.
like 1955.
I know,
and dinner's not on the
It's not ready. Yeah, it was crazy. No, I did not find Ganga Das, unfortunately. I looked for him, but on the flight
Oh,
back,
man.
there was a Buddhist monk getting on the flight. So I was like, well, at least if we go down on a desert island or something like that, we can keep everybody calm.
We should let Gangadas know, but I don't know how to get in touch with him anymore.
Yeah.
Not sure if he's decided on a new path or if he's on the same one.
We're not sure. One way or the other, he's journeying for that path.
He's out there.
Yeah, it was good. All right, well, let's get the weird news.
Here,
out
hang on
here.
while you get that
Go
queued
ahead.
up. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah.
take a bathroom break
There
for
you
the
go.
abnormally long.
Go take a bath, and then we'll see after
Yeah,
that.
bath time. I'll be back about 30 minutes.
It's got to take a soak. I did get the Hawaii shirt too. Yes, Allison, I did. Had to get Bernie his Hawaii shirt. I sent him a bunch of options, and we also took a picture. They had ones for children, and we sent one of those over to him too because he wasn't sure what size he was going to be. So that was a fun little thing. Let's see. Where's my damn cursor at here? There it is. Okay. Let's get the weird news all set here. Got that guy. And this is good because Matt normally peeks. He normally peeks up at the screen, and I tell him not to because I want him to be the the honorary you guys watching the show. So he doesn't know what's going on, but we got it all figured out now. But yeah, so Hawaii was good. It was like I say, the flight back was not so good, but that's okay. We made it through. Here on the other side. Yes, that's it, Juan. I'm glad I made it back to tell the story. That's what it's all about. I was talking to Matt. He's asking me how it was, and I said, content, baby. It's all about that content. That's That's the goal these days. It's not so much about living life as it is getting content for the show. And then, that way when AI inevitably takes over and, assimilates all these episodes, it'll seem like we had a good time. It's like laughing, in those moments. So the last moment of your life, when your life flashes before your eyes, it doesn't seem like you didn't do anything. You got to have a little content in there. It's all about that content.
It's all our whole lives is the point of everything.
Content. That's what I was saying. It's like so when AI, assimilates us.
Oh yeah. I mean, I want to feel like I'm not sure if I'm just existing for the podcast and like the rest of this life is like is a manufactured memory.
Yes.
And then I'm actually it's like a Black Mirror episode where I'm just all I am. I solely exist as a computer's rendition of me.
Yes.
It's generating content. Excuse me, because like that's what humans have programmed these computers to do at this point.
Yeah.
And it's actually like the year 3000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, whatever. It's whatever. As long as listen, if this is a simulation, I'm comfortable.
It feels pretty good to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take
it.
I don't like this new all-day beer that I'm drinking.
Yeah.
But,
well, if it needs to feel realistic, so you're going to have some discomfort.
There needs to be some disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like hit the plain puke button. He's had 3 successful flights so far.
That's just too many in a row.
Yeah, he can't have
He'll
all
start
that.
figure it out.
He's going to get suspicious. Yeah.
He's going to be like, you know what? Things are too good.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a simulation.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, Juan, it was just good old air sickness. It was just the turbulence. It was shaking me around too much, and my tum-tum just couldn't handle it.
It was like a postpartum depression mother with a baby.
That's right, exactly right. Yeah,
just
trying to
get it to quiet down.
Trying to get those pennies out of the piggy bank. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God! Help me, Allah! Ah!
Weird news on the Kickstarter match.
Help me, Tom Cruise! Tom Cruise used the witchcraft on me to get the fire off me! Ah, help me, Oprah Winfrey! Ah!
A tarantula enjoys a fine chewing gum. A human torch is denied a bank loan. The arsonist has button shoes.
And now with this week's weird news, here's the match.
Alrighty, so as we get back to before we start weird news, I do have to say one more thing.
Sure.
That Spam Jam, there was this guy had to be in his late 80s, if not in his 90s. He was like this really old guy, and the last act of the night on those flatbed trucks in the center of because they shut the whole street down basically. At the center of this block party, that this DJ, and he was playing like exclusively like late 90s, early 2000s like hits, but he was mixing them together, like the vocals from this one, he would slow them down and match them to the music from another song and stuff. So it was like, crossing these songs over. It was really, really cool. But there was this old guy, he was dancing by himself in the middle of all of these like 20-something kids with barely any clothes on. And he was like, his eyes were barely open, and he was just kind of dancing around to music that he's never heard in his entire life. And then eventually, a bunch of girls came over and started dancing on him, and he was like still like trying to waltz with them, like he just got back from the Navy deployment, kind of thing. And they're just grinding on him and shit.
God.
It was hilarious. and then afterwards, I got just the tail end of him dancing with this girl. And then he like grabbed her hands and was like laughing, like she went to try and high five him, but he didn't know what that meant. And so he was just like laughing, and she came over and she hugged him, and then she walked away, and then he started walking towards the curb, which was maybe 3 inches high.
Yeah.
And he reached out to this little kid that was standing on the curb. And the little kid was like, he like recoiled, like, what the fuck do you want, old man?
He's like, this is one day you will be me.
And then this Hawaiian guy came over and grabbed his hand. He needed help getting up over the because
he was asking for the child for help,
just
not
the
that
hand so that he could climb up the thing.
My God,
it was hilarious. But anyway, that was a fun little.
I feel like
little guy had
I actually think that you witnessed, like, I heard so far I've heard at least 20 people. You witnessed their last moment before they died.
Yes,
he probably
it's
went
great.
home and had a heart attack.
I'm almost positive.
Hibachi chef went home and ate a bullet.
Had to be.
All those people got swept out into the tide.
they're
The
going-
drunk people on the catamaran, they got
Yep.
swept under the catamaran. Everybody was dying.
It's great. There's death everywhere.
Mhm.
It's
Matt made it out alive.
yeah. I survived. Exactly
It was
right.
Jumanji.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You didn't go to Hawaii. You just played Jumanji.
And I'm all right with as long as I don't have to do that flight anymore. I'll keep playing. I'm
Mhm.
okay with it.
I'll be hunted by the
Watch out for
that
that
guy
Van
in the
Pelt.
forest. Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Well, let's get some weird news going
All
here.
right.
So first up, Matt,
Oh boy.
Colombian President Gustavo Petro on Wednesday removed the national police director who had talked about using exorcisms to catch fugitives.
Well, I mean, in Colombia, you're going to have a lot of competition
Yeah.
for who's going to get the attention
You got-
of the authorities.
Mhm.
And I think using any means necessary is
You've-
fine. Let's exercise the demons
You've
out
got
of
to
them.
do your
And it's a rehabilitation model.
yeah. Well, but it's really what he's trying to do. He's trying to take him like to super jail. There's like you're going to hell and you're under arrest.
You're going to hell and the body's going to jail.
Yeah. Well, the defense ministry elaborated on reasons for dismissal. A staunch Catholic who was appointed by Petro in August of last year, but he was under an internal investigation by the ministry over whether he had inappropriately allowed his religious beliefs to infringe on his duties. So,
I would say so.
yeah, I'd say that's pretty clear. He had unleashed a debate about the impact of his faith on the police department after his statements in an interview last month that said he'd used exorcisms to catch drug kingpins and guerrilla leaders. He also issued a strong condemnation of abortion, which is legal in Colombia.
Oh
So,
my.
yeah, so he has a particular stance. And,
Why does Colombia feel more progressive than we do? What the fuck?
Well, that's it. It's all about freedom.
Mm.
But although Colombia is predominantly Catholic, conservative, and religious traditions, it's secular state under its constitution. So Petro, who was sworn in as the country's first ever leftist president last August, said that the man would never be persecuted over his religion, but that there must be separation between religious beliefs and the state. So if you're in Colombia and you're a demon, you better watch out. Actually, you're fine now because this guy's out of the picture.
You are now
can
safe.
You can go back to possessing lower level mob members that apparently know where the kingpins are.
Drug mules.
Yeah,
and
whatever
people who are-
whatever your role is, you're a-okay now.
Yeah, they're a strong grassroots network of like low level criminality.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's that guy. But another a caper that has not been solved. Okay, well, it's
Oh my! What
suspicious.
the fuck? Is that what I think it is?
it is what you think it is.
Oh my god!
Someone in New Jersey found a bizarre way to pass time last month by dumping nearly 500 pounds of pasta into the woods near Old Bridge, New Jersey.
What the
Mamma
fuck?
mia! So the massive spaghetti dump appeared in the river basin around April 28th and became big news when a former city council candidate posted photos of it on their Facebook page.
I've been wondering why I felt a draw to go to New Jersey.
There was
lately.
it's almost like an instinctual draw, kind of like flying south
just
for
hear, like,
the birds. Yeah, I can hear it.
like calling.
I got to get to New Jersey.
I don't know why. I just overwhelmed with this feeling.
Yeah, so-
I'm being called somewhere. I need to go. I gotta go.
I gotta go. So there are conflicting reports over whether the pasta was cooked. The woman says that it was. It looked like someone filled up a wheelbarrow of pasta and just dumped it there. Right?
I mean, I know it's cheap
Yeah.
to get your hands on.
Gotta-
Like 500 pounds is. I mean, it is a
That's a
considerable
lot of pasta.
amount.
Yeah. I mean, especially if I think you just slipped a little. I think you said that's a considerable amount.
I told you this is just drawing. It's drawing the
just
Italian
pulling it
out of me.
It's pulling it out.
I can
Sweating
feel
olive
the
oil over here.
grease and the oil just all over me right now.
Well,
Getting the pasta sweats
so
right
that's
now.
it. That's it. And it really does make a difference. Getting them pasta sweats.
I know we were just talking about Colombia, but this is my drug
that's
right
right,
here.
that's
It's
right. I know
pasta in the
I'll
woods.
tell you what.
I've never felt more of a draw to live in nature
Oh.
than right now. I don't like camping, but I'll tell you something. I will live by that reservoir.
That's how we draw all those Italians out of the woods that are living in those encampments.
That's how they ended up breaking up some of the mafias.
Like just leave some pasta out.
It's like a mouse
Yeah,
trap.
that's right.
It's a wop trap.
Just put a laundry basket and have them a rope over top. Just drop it on their head.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. That's all you got to do. Well, others, including a business administrator of the Old Bridge Township, suggested the pasta was just wet from the rain. Now, that does make a difference in the weight, though, because
Well, it absolutely does. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if it's 500 pounds wet or dry, that's definitely a
It's
difference.
so strange. I guess like the rain could. I mean, but it looks cooked though. It doesn't just look wet.
Well, but
I don't know. But I've never actually experimented with like just making pasta wet.
Well,
instead of
that's
like
all you need to
the
do.
heat.
In order the heat makes it tender, but the moisture is what makes
Well,
it flexible.
it looks tender though. It looks edible. It looks like all it's missing is some
Yeah, but-
sauce and meatballs.
Yeah, but look, you can see a lot of it's like all bunched together, and usually that's just from the moisture. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah, because that's if you don't put a little oil in there, then they all stick together.
Yeah.
And you got to stir it, of course, too. But anyhow, so it looks like there was only there for a short time, but the moisture did start to soften some of the pasta.
I'm just like I want to truck in a bunch of
I'm waiting
sauce.
why don't we have another one of
cheese,
those like crashes? You know,
Yeah.
like a tractor trailer jackknifes over there with a bunch of tomatoes.
Ragu or
Oh
something.
man,
Just go
it's just a
spew it
ragu
all.
tanker because apparently they transport everything in these giant
They
tanks.
will. Anything you
Yeah.
get is it's in
Anything
a,
that's liquid esque.
in a tank.
Yep,
It's in a
it's in-
it's in one of those things that transports gasoline. It's the same exact type of thing.
Oh my god, like those fuckers we saw filling up their pool. Remember when we left MonsterCon, they were filling up their pool tanker truck at the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they're allowed
What
to do
the
that.
fuck
They're
was
definitely
that
not allowed
about?
to do that.
That was
that's
weird as
definitely-
hell.
That's definitely illegal. Well, anyhow, they confirmed that it was 15 wheelbarrow loads of pasta that were illegally dumped in the woods near a creek, but the spaghetti was uncooked. We tried it.
Oh.
they didn't try it.
it was crunchy. It
It
was,
was
hard.
crunchy. It was definitely al dente. It looked like it was only there for a short time, but the moisture did soften some of it. The officers took a report and said that 2 public works officers, or rather employees, cleaned up the pasta in less than an hour with government-issued forks, probably.
Those two guys were definitely. I'm just not gonna say it, but
Yeah.
you know what persuasion nationality they
Yeah,
were.
they walked there, but they needed a ride back.
Yeah.
So they
took a big nap afterwards. What the
they were man, they were really out. So the police were investigating the incident, but there was no word on whether the pasta dump was the work of one person or a group.
What is happening?
It's a
I don't-
mystery.
I guess did someone have too much pasta on their hands? The biggest mystery here is the why.
The why,
MO.
yeah, the
What's
motive is definitely, and really, I would have fully expected that there's like a monster underneath of there, like or a head
Yeah.
or something like
something sentient.
that. Nothing. So we don't know.
It's not complete yet. The
mi-
ritual's not over.
That's right. The mystery continues.
There's no meatballs. There's no sauce, and there's no cheese.
Not a thing. So
Mhm.
it's really, really a puzzling thing. But I guess you can sort of see the clumps of it there. I guess. So
Yeah,
that's why they're
it
sort of
does
assuming.
look like it got chucked
Yeah.
in. It reminds me of when I used to have to mulch
Yeah, right.
yards
right,
and stuff
right,
like that.
Right.
Because I dump them. I basically go in with wheelbarrows full, dump them in, and then just spread them all.
This is how
spread
they
it
do it
all
in New
out.
Jersey. I guess.
Yeah.
That's how they keeps the
They
weeds
just-
down.
Yeah,
And if you put them in the garden with like an oregano garden or something like that,
Mhm.
it only makes it better.
it makes it delicious.
Oh my god! You gotta
You can scoop it back up and just serve it at that point.
You gotta put a.
Why does it look so clean too? That's another
It
thing I'm curious
does, it
about.
does.
Is it a natural repulsion? Like I thought that there would be animals all over this trying to eat it.
We're the only animals that eat pasta, though. I think. I mean, like other things
But
will
it
eat it,
doesn't
but
have some nutritional like aren't
I don't know.
critters and various animals drawn to any
I'm sure
kind
there were
of
bugs.
source of food?
I'm sure there were bugs in it.
Bugs
Bugs
all
love
over it.
pasta.
Well, yeah,
Pasta
they'll-
bugs, you
They'll
know.
eat them.
That's what they do. That's what they do. But yeah, I don't know. It's a crazy thing. Crazy thing. I don't remember what this one is. Oh, I remember now. A financial website is offering to pay someone $1,000 to watch all 10 films in the Fast and the Furious series and take notes on all the car crashes in the movie.
Not enough money.
Now-
Not enough. I'm telling you right now.
There you go. Get ready. Get ready. So, Finance Buzz announced it's seeking a Fast and Furious claims adjuster to watch all the films, including the upcoming Fast X. There's more than 10 of those fucking movies. I know. It's got to be. Isn't
Oh
there?
no, I'm not sure if if the X is 10. There might be 10.
Nah, I think it's more than that. But anyhow, the track.
There may be some out of canon. Yeah, I think you're
yeah,
right.
Maybe that's
Not out of canon. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Out of the main storyline, their side, the little side. You
Right.
know, I know at least like Tokyo Drift is. I don't know if it's like supposed to be the third one or the. You know,
Oh, okay. No, it's
No,
like
I mean-
Michelle Rodriguez gets an oil change and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
she needs
They
an
were-
oil change.
they were
She
great.
is looking more like Optimus Prime than she's looking like
She
the
needs
sexy
to get
side
out-
piece or
She's
whatever.
got to get out of the sun.
She's got gout.
She's got.
I'm telling you right now, her bones are full of calcium deposits. It's
everywhere.
that, and her body's full
Everywhere.
of pasta
Oh
deposits.
my God! Yeah, she should have. She's got to keep it together there.
She has been. I saw like a video of her recently,
Yeah,
just in passing, and I
Yeah.
was like, "What?" I think she's on the Vin Diesel diet.
she
Because Vin
definitely
Diesel
is.
looks like he just drinks motor oil, and I think Vin Diesel's one of the guys who cleaned up that pasta.
Yeah, he
dump.
was over there. Yeah, he doesn't look like that anymore. That's for sure. Neither
No.
does Paul Walker.
He
Uh,
is-
so,
oh, my, Paul.
so to track all the damages from all the car crashes
Paul Walker
depicted on
looks like
screen.
a bag of potato chips that got stepped on.
Well, the job posting states that the chosen candidate will be asked to note any car accidents that result in damage, including counting the number of accidents, extent of the damages, and what cars are involved. They said
I told you
we'll
there's
share
not
the data.
enough money
I mean-
because first of all, the movies are absolutely god awfully atrocious. They
Yeah.
are so hard to sit
Yeah.
through.
Yeah,
I can't sit there, and if you're just watching it for that, like, I would need to have a lobotomy in order to complete this job.
Juan's
But-
saying I haven't watched one of those Fast
Juan,
and Furious movies.
don't
I don't
waste
think
your
I
time.
have either.
Don't
Yeah.
waste your time.
So maybe the first one. I don't remember.
Holy
but yeah,
shit,
no.
they're so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they're riding on that, I guess, on that the meta nature of how insane they've become
I
based
guess.
on their origins. But there are so many crashes and also so much property damage that goes on as they go up
Of course.
further and further.
Right. Yeah, it's like
It
an-
would be an impossible
It's like an
task.
Avengers movie. Like
Yeah.
that's a insurance adjuster's nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're like God. Well, the chosen candidate will be paid $1,000 for their efforts, as well as $100 to cover the cost of streaming the first 9 films. Okay, so it is 10, I guess. So go, and then also going to see Fast X in theaters. Applications are being accepted on the website until May 19th, and that means you've got 10 days or 9 if you're listening on a playback.
Mhm.
So get your applications in if that's what you're looking for.
For anyone who does not watch these movies, ironically,
Yeah.
I saw the last one that was out in theaters. I saw it in theaters, and
Mhm.
it was so obnoxious. I'm pretty sure we talked about it here.
Yeah.
But it was
Oh
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
it was just
yeah. I think we talked. Did we talk about it with Zach? Maybe.
we might have.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I
It was
can
pretty
imagine
bad.
it's not getting any better.
It's like they are aware of how silly it is, and they
Mhm.
make comments about it in their
Mhm.
own movies. But how can you have any emotional like content
Mhm.
or any kind of like plot line that's not just laughable? But
Yeah.
they still play it like some of these plot lines are supposed to either
Gotta be real.
emotional or original. Holy shit!
Yep.
It's
What if we do Speed, but 10 movies?
Yeah,
right?
it's the lowest common denominator of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Who even owns I got to find out what studio owns the rights. I'm wondering if Disney's making money off of this or
I'm
not.
sure Vin Diesel's the one.
Vin-
He's just taking all of his Guardians of the Galaxy, all his group money has just gone into pumping full of this. And
Mhm.
Michelle Rodriguez is begging. She's like, I have all
More
these tanning
bagels.
bills. And my bagel bill is through the roof. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, it's just getting worse and worse. I can't stop. Can't stop eating bagels.
With this kind
I've
of
got
money.
10 fingers. How can I not have a bagel for each finger? I just feel naked if I don't have all these bagels. Like all kinds. But another crash, about 1 million bees were released on
Oh
the
my
Florida
God.
highway early Tuesday morning when
Oh
a truck hauling the insects was involved in a crash.
Damn, dude. It's it's too bad that it was pasta and not like,
I know.
you know,
That's what
ice
I'm-
cream or something out in the woods because it Could have used some honey.
So
but
many
these, But
things.
bees, this is also a terrifying photo of just all this, like, these beehives and all these fucking bees just swarming.
Everywhere.
Is it even possible to get them back in order and like retrieve them?
You need a special like bee flute, and then
Could you imagine driving with your windows down, having a great day? I just want to have fun. Oh my god! Holy! Bzzz.
Especially if you're in a convertible, because the drag that you create driving a convertible creates a little suction behind you.
My
Just
God.
suck a bunch of bees into you.
You're gonna be Nicolas Cage in The Wicker Man. You're just
Yeah,
gonna be
that's it.
covered in them.
Not the bees.
That's it.
Well,
You're done.
the Florida Highway Patrol said that the big rig crashed into a truck carrying a load of bees on Highway 301 around 3:15 in the morning on Tuesday. So
Look, everybody. Just be careful on the road. Can
Just-
we stop crashing into things? Can we stop crashing into tractor
can't
trailers?
we put them in like one of
filled-
those Zorb things, those
with-
big
they're like-
things you run in?
They're filled with increasingly more and more dangerous
God.
things.
Next thing you know, we're gonna be like just moving all of these like nuclear warheads and liquid
Imagine
nitrogen.
if these bees got collided with radioactive waste. They would be giant, massive monster bees, dude.
Everywhere.
Freak bees would be eating people.
It would be
And
everything.
stingers the size of a sword.
That's it.
They'd be stabbing people's heads
We'd just
off.
be praying for those California wildfires to make it over
Yeah,
here.
man, you're gonna have to. One of your garden essentials is gonna be a shotgun.
You gotta have it. You gotta have like like turrets set up there. Yeah, my God. But
Oh,
the
man.
FHP said that the truck was carrying about 1 million bees, which were released onto the roadway as a result of the crash. The highway was partially closed, and beekeepers were summoned to the scene through black magic to collect the insects. The bees had successfully been collected by 7:30 in the morning. So,
Wow, man. The pasta cleanup guys,
yeah,
these
they know who
beekeeper
to call.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, there's jobs out here with people who are for as all the incompetence of these motherfuckers.
Yep.
That's how much actual
Specialty they've
yeah,
got.
specialty
They
these
know.
people
They
have.
come in. They're it's like fucking Reservoir Dogs. He
Mhm.
just comes in.
It's like that casino scene in Rain Man.
Yeah.
He's just
cleaning
cleaning
up,
house.
just cleaning it all
Okay.
up. Yep.
not an ounce of social awareness,
No.
just all ability.
These guys have no clue how to talk to anybody but bees.
And Tom Cruise is right next to him, just figuring out how to monetize
Oh man,
it.
he just can't wait. He's like, how can I make money off
Don't
of
be
this?
autistic around Tom
Nope,
Cruise
That's
because
right.
he will
Oh,
monetize.
he's just waiting.
He's like the Predator.
It costs a lot of money to keep the face this young.
He can see.
gotta
He can see the
soak it.
talent.
He's all kinds of stuff.
He's been training his eye for a very long time.
Long time, longer than you would be comfortable knowing. We'll just put it that way.
Longer than the age of his previous wife.
That's right. Well, speaking of his previous wife, this Sunday.
Oh my God!
This Sunday is Mother's Day, and we would be lax in our duty if we didn't compile a stupid list of terrible suggestions to inspire your last-minute gifts. So get ready for your shopping list to get stretched almost to 3 times its usual size, almost to the point of ripping. Here we go. First up, did your mom do a shit ton of blow in the 80s? Well, now you can remind her of the story she told you once where you were watching Grease for the first time and how she swears she met John Travolta at a disco club when she was on a date with her aerobics instructor, Daniel. And no matter how hard she tried to get his attention, John and Daniel seemed to really hit it off and became quick friends. Daniel even helped John get his bike started that he had parked in a dark alleyway next to the club, and how she never realized how often you have to change the oil in a motorcycle and how dirty it makes your knees with this disco ball purse.
That's not just a garish and hideous like accessory
No.
for your wrist.
No, it's
That's
a
a
purse.
purse?
It's a purse that has a zipper on top.
This woman looks like she
I'm pretty sure that
is not dressed for the kind of movement that she's
No.
trying to enact.
And I'm almost positive that she doesn't actually have that purse on her wrist. I think that's crudely photoshopped.
I certainly would not
Yeah.
be surprised
Yeah.
one bit.
That's it. Well,
Also, she's also photoshopped. Oh my God, she's also photoshopped into the disco.
yeah, exactly.
because
right.
those people, even though they're in the background, are 10 times bigger than her. Also, is she supposed to have like white hair? Is this supposed to just be the lighting?
I think she's supposed to be slightly old. Yeah, just old enough.
But then here's the problem: they picked an Asian lady, and
Yeah.
Asian people don't show their fucking
No.
age.
That's why
because have
they're
such
like, we
tight
got to get the
skin."
lady with the gray hair.
Yeah,
she's the only one that we
She's
can.
right between. That way, they think that they feel young.
That's it.
We want to show old people how they feel,
Right.
not what they really look
Right,
like. Because they got to
exactly
look
right.
at that horror in the mirror every day.
They've got that. We want to give them a little escape,
yeah,
a little bit of fantasy.
but also make them feel like this is for them.
Let
This
them know.
product
Let them
is-
know that we're not
it's yours.
too young, and
We're hip,
yeah, exactly,
just
right.
like you.
just like you. Well, just like this
I
parenting.
thought that this was a. Go on. I thought this picture was something else.
That's all we need. So parenting looks a little different in different families, but what better way to help your mom become more comfortable with the inevitable hostage crisis and police standoff that will end in a full-on Waco-style blaze than this hostage tape? The function of it is supposed to be to keep people from snoring, but
Just shut their fucking mouth. Shut the fuck
shut
up.
them up.
I actually thought that this guy was doing some sort of
Blackface.
blackface. This is a very poor version of this. It doesn't help that the color scheme of his shirt makes it look really
It
intentional.
really does. Yes, it does. It's all coordinated and shit. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got that
no.
going for him at least. But yeah, she's doing all right. So
Be racist in your sleep.
that's right. Nobody can blame you for that. This one, chainsaws and motherhood, two great tastes that taste together. I did not write that. That is exactly what it said on the thing. And I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? But
What does that mean?
I don't know. And it's just a chainsaw.
That's it. That's
There's no spin on it.
chainsaw for mom.
A chainsaw for
You know what
mom.
mom really needs is some manual labor.
That's right.
Help her chop
Get to
things
work,
down.
Ma. Yeah. Yeah.
Either that or just give her the ability to terrorize her
Yeah,
neighbors
exactly right. She's going to train
by looking like an
chase
unhinged
people around.
maniac.
She's like, I have to do this now that I chopped your father up.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I mean,
if you want to chop up a human body, get the Still brand.
that's what
Never
you want.
gunks up with the human hair and junk.
Nope.
All
it's all
bone matter.
brushless. It's completely brushless. You don't have to
Boom.
worry about that motor
He's-
locking up on you. Nothing
It
worse than
zips
cutting
right
through a
through.
femur and it just locks
Mhm.
up. Not anymore.
I mean, usually time is of the essence if you're cutting a body up.
And the trick is to cut up a bunch of wood afterwards so it gets all the fibers out.
That's a little free tip for you.
And
for
don't
this
forget
Mother's
about
Day.
the face protection. That's the important
That's right.
part.
Yes,
You don't want that.
especially for Matt.
You don't want that blood. Yeah, especially for me. This is exactly how I
Bone
should look all the
fragments.
time.
Yes, you
Yeah,
should.
sunglasses, tight-fitting sunglasses
Yes.
with the shield over my face,
Mhm.
because otherwise my eyes are going to be full of everything that's around.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
exactly right. So, is your mom constantly complaining? It's cold, it's dark, let me back inside. Well, now you can have the peace of mind you're both after with this wearable electric blanket.
Wow, it's
There
like a
you go.
fashion accessory.
It's all about the fashion, folks. It's
It
all-
does. It does feel like in this age of stupid-looking fashion, it
Right.
definitely looks like one of those.
Yeah, it fits. It
Fashion
fits. Obviously,
statements.
it's a one size fits all. So
It's like a weird vest.
It is,
of some kind.
Well, now that your
Oh,
mom's
my.
past that part of her journey down there, remind her that God says all her value is gone and that Satan, the Lord of this world, still knows she has plenty of value by paying homage to the great God of wealth, Mammon, with this uterus emblazoned purse.
What?
Try a different one. Remember how mom had to go for that special surgery after your fifth sibling was born? Well, now you can give mom her uterus back with this uterus emblazoned purse.
Wow. I mean, I guess if you really want to have like a memento of what you're now missing,
I guess.
or what is now not functioning for you any longer.
And that's where you store all your money.
I guess it'll go well with the disco ball purse on
Right.
on
And
your
that's,
wrist.
you want to have the variety, the choice between the past and the present, I guess.
I mean, why do you need? I guess you want your uterus attached to something that still works.
Yeah, right. Exactly
Still
right.
has a function.
Yeah, that's it. That's really what you need to do. Well, mom always claims she loves when you stop by to visit, but after 2 weeks hiding in the crawl space in the attic, she says it's time for you to go and answer for your crimes. Help her be a bit clearer on what she means by stopping by any time with this unwelcome mat.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a great gift from Matt.
That's it.
This is-
Absolutely.
This would be something you would 100%.
And I would invite people over at 8:50. And just
love
like
it.
that, we're telling you to get out, folks. because we're all done with all this bullshit.
Welcome and goodbye.
Welcome and goodbye is exactly right. And we'll see you next time on another episode of the Kickstart with Matt.
And Matt,
That's it. You hung out. You hung
Yeah.
out for an hour and 17 minutes.
Good
We went a little
job.
bit longer. You made it
Congrats.
through. We talked about the things. We have the mystery. It's all about maintaining the mystery, right?
it is.
And when that mystery involves a lot of pasta, like hundreds of pounds of pasta,
How many dead bodies have you? How many future dead bodies have you seen yet?
what
How
have
many
you done
people
for me
have been
lately?
swept out into the sea
That's right.
today?
All of these questions.
Who's been dumping all this food in
Yeah.
the woods?
Oh my God! It's like Yogi Bear. We don't know. We're not sure. He
also,
might
get away from the highway. There's
Stay-
bees
be. There's
everywhere.
bees, a million bees everywhere. The beekeepers aren't here yet, and you look pretty good for stinging. Pin cushion, walking pin cushion,
You're nice and soft.
nice and soft, just like that pasta.
Now you are. 'Cause you got all wet.
you're all
You're
wet,
wet
and washed
now.
up. All right, Juan, Allison, thank you.
Juan and Allison.
You've made it through.
That's the staff meeting.
That's it. I'm a
And
native.
for whoever-
Juan says I'm a native Hawaiian now. Mahalo to you, Juan. Absolutely. Aloha and mahalo. Those are the two words that you use the most while you're there.
Did they
Hello and thank you.
Did they put the lay on you when you got in?
No.
What a fucking gem. That's bullshit.
That's only if you go to a resort or something like
That's still bullshit.
No, you can
I
go-
have been conditioned to believe that I will get
that.
a
In
lay.
movies. Yes, exactly right. It's not as cinematic in that way. But everything else, it just looks like it doesn't look real. The colors are so vibrant. Everything is so big. It's fucking weird. But it wears off eventually, when you drink enough.
It
and then
wears off. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, things are big.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
whatever.
Fuck it.
Whatever. I
Things
wonder
are
who's going
big
to
and
die on the
slimy.
beach today.
Big, slimy, and wet.
That's it. Yeah. It really is. It's a whole different world out there.
It
Like,
seems
People
like
are like they're like genuinely concerned about each other, and like everybody takes their time. Like nobody's like, if anybody is racing around, it's always somebody who's like there on vacation. It's weird. It's interesting, but that's the way that it goes. I'm still alive. We're here. Sorry,
barely.
sorry, sorry to disappoint. But we'll see you next week. We love you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye.